In a small town where the land was dry and the wind carried dust instead of rain, there lived a man named Tesfa. People called him the late planter, not because he was slow, but because he had started too late in life. Tesfa was in his 50s when he first decided he wanted to change something about the world. Before that, he had lived quietly. He worked small jobs, kept to himself, and watched others chase big dreams. Whenever someone spoke about success, he would smile and say, "That train has already left for me." One year the heat became unbearable. The marketplace had no shade. Old women sat with cloth over their heads. Children cried under the sun. Even the goats searched for somewhere to hide. One afternoon, Tesfa saw a boy faint near the road. Not from sickness, from heat. He helped the boy up and walked him home. On the way, the boy asked, "Why doesn't anyone plant trees here?" That night, he could not sleep. The question kept repeating in his mind like a drum. Why doesn't anyone plant trees here? The next morning, he borrowed a shovel from a neighbor and walked to the edge of the road. He dug a hole. The soil was hard. His hands blistered before noon. People passed by and laughed. "Tesfa," one man said, "by the time the tree grows, you'll be gone." Another added, "Planting a tree at your age is like building a house in a dream." Tesfa wiped the sweat from his face and replied, "Yes, but someone will wake up inside that house." He planted one small seedling. The next day, he planted another, then another. He had no money for tools, so he used a broken metal plate to carry water from a distant well. Every morning before sunrise, he walked back and forth, watering each fragile leaf. Weeks passed. Some seedlings died. Goats ate others. Children accidentally stepped on a few. Every loss felt personal, but Tesfa never stopped. One evening, a young girl approached him. "Why do you keep planting if they keep dying?" Tesfa looked at the tiny green leaf he was protecting with a circle of stones. He said, "Because the shade is not for me." The girl did not fully understand, but the next morning she brought him a small cup of water for the plants. That was the first time someone helped him. Months later, one tree survived. Then 3, then 7. Their leaves were small, but they were alive. A group of men who used to mock him began resting near the tiny shadows those trees made. At first they did it silently, pretending they were just passing by. But one day one of them said, "It's cooler here." Tesfa smiled but said nothing. Years passed. The trees grew taller. Their branches spread like open hands. The road that once burned under the sun slowly became a path of shade. Vendors moved their stalls under the trees. Children played there after school. Travelers stopped to rest and drink water. The town changed. One afternoon, a young man approached Tesfa, who was now older and slower, but still carrying water. "Grandfather," the young man said, "we are planning to plant trees on the other side of the town. Will you show us how you did it?" Tesfa laughed softly. "I did nothing special," he replied. "I just refused to stop." The young man looked around at the long line of trees, at the people sitting beneath them, at the goats sleeping peacefully in the shade. "This," he said, "is special." Tesfa shook his head. "No. What is special is this. A man can start late and still arrive where he is needed." That night, Tesfa walked slowly along the road. He touched the bark of each tree like greeting an old friend. He remembered the laughter, the blisters, the days when nothing seemed to grow. He also remembered the first leaf that survived. He sat beneath the largest tree, the one he had planted on the very first day. Its branches now stretched wide enough to shade 10 people at once. A group of children ran past him, chasing each other, their laughter echoing through the leaves. They did not know who planted the trees. They did not know about the blisters or the broken metal plate or the long walks to the well. They only knew the shade. Tesfa closed his eyes and whispered, "This is enough." The next morning, the young man and his friends arrived with shovels and seedlings. They found Tesfa resting peacefully under the tree. He had passed away during the night. The town gathered for his burial, and for the first time, people spoke openly about what he had done. An old woman said, "Before these trees, we had nowhere to sit." A vendor said, "My business survived because of this shade." A traveler said, "I chose this road because it is kind." The young boy who had once fainted from the heat, now grown into a strong man, stood beside the grave and said he planted trees when he thought his life was almost over. But his real life had just begun. After the ceremony, the young people picked up their shovels. They walked to the other side of town. They dug into the hard soil. Their hands blistered, and when others laughed, they repeated Tesfa's words, "The shade is not for me." Years later, that side of the town also became green. Travelers passing through would often ask, "Who planted all these trees?" And the people would answer, "A man who started late but never stopped." Some people think it is too late to begin, too late to change, too late to matter. But the world does not measure you by when you start. It remembers what you leave behind. Plant the tree, even if you will never sit in its shade, because someone, somewhere will breathe easier because you refused to give up.